All right, hello everyone. My name is Madison Capel. I'm an early childhood major, and today I'll be telling you about the importance of play in early childhood classrooms. So, in the dictionary, play is defined as the engagement and activity for enjoyment and recreation. This includes sports, dramatic performances, musical performances, and any game played for pretense rather than for actual seriousness, kind of grounded in reality. So NACE, which is the National Association for the Education of Young Children, defines play as an important vehicle for developing self-regulation as well as for promoting language, cognition, and social competence. So that means through play, children inquire about their surroundings and explore the things, people, and places around them. These experiences help children learn about the world through investigation, which is just as valuable as intentional teaching that is usually done in a classroom. As a young child, I remember playing a lot in my pre-K classroom, with the class only actually coming together for lessons on our desks a few times every day. Um, and I remember that our playtime at centers was really abundant, fun, and I got to experience a lot of new things, as well as communicate with my peers a whole lot more than we would in a very strict lesson oriented classroom. Um, However, when I've gone into pre K classrooms more recently for things like field experience, I'm noticing that there is more emphasis being put on academic work rather than play based learning. Especially, testing is very important now. An article in Psychology Today reminds us that more emphasis is being placed on testing now than ever before, which means more lessons, more time spent at desks learning formally, and more students who become frustrated, bored, and anxious from lack of engagement and play relief that they get in a regular school day. So, loading. So, play can be done in many areas of the classroom. Whereas most people think that play can only be done at home or outside or at recess, play can be integrated into a lot of centers in the classroom, including block centers, sensory centers, or, as is done most often, dramatic play centers. A teacher can utilize storybooks, such as in the Reading and Writing Center, um, and have students reenact scenes from the books in the center, such as by giving them dolls and hand puppets, costumes, and items from the book to use. This will offer them the experience of the characters in the book and will expose them to things or situations they may have not experienced before. Whereas in a block center, students can be asked questions while they play that will get them thinking about what they're doing. For example, a teacher might ask a student, how many blocks do you need to make this tower as tall as your other tower? Or what might happen if you stack blocks of different sizes on top of each other? These higher order thinking questions posed by teachers can get students thinking about problem solving, prediction, and hypothesizing, as well as integrating math skills, social skills, and even emotional skills depending on the situation, such as if the block tower were to fall down, and then the teacher might ask, oh, I see that your tower's fallen down. Do you think you can rebuild it stronger this time? And how do you think you can do that? Um, when students are in a dramatic play center, they can pretend to be at the grocery store, and that's when money can be incorporated and utilized just like it is in real life to teach numbers. Students can choose out their groceries and they count how many they have to the cashier. And these kinds of activities promote math skills, social skills, speaking skills, and even problem solving skills. So, pre K classrooms integrate all sorts of centers, including ones you might not think of at first, including things like water and sand centers, sensory centers, and music centers. The most common centers you'll see are dramatic play, reading, blocks, art, writing, and puzzles/manipulatives. These are centers that should have plenty of space for each student in them at one time, as well as offering an appropriate amount of time for the students to play in them, which is typically like 15 minutes. Material should be easy for students to reach and handle. And the great thing about centers is that they can utilize play-based learning to teach academic standards, like we just talked about. So when a student reads a book about a little girl who wrote her own story, they might want to write their own story as well, which incorporates speaking, listening, and writing skills, as well as the fine motor skills that they need to actually make the book itself. So an observer who comes into a pre-K classroom might see a lot of play. This can include students' time at the centers or gross motor activities done as a group, And on the surface, it might look like the students are just playing and not actually doing any academic learning. But that's not so, because we know that play based learning can be utilized very efficiently to teach them academic skills, social skills, and emotional skills all at the same time. These play experiences also allow them to have new experiences, see things from other perspectives, ask and answer questions, and strengthen their bonds with their fellow students, which leads to a more tight knit classroom community. Play motivates, stimulates, and supports children in the development of skills, concepts, language acquisition, communication skills, and concentration. They have to use all their senses in tandem, convey their thoughts to those around them, explore new environments and situations, and connect prior knowledge with new knowledge. When children reenact experiences that they see others do, particularly things that they see adults do, they are solidifying their understanding of those activities. They learn to improvise and problem solve when they don't know what to do, or they push through and figure it out on their own, or they always have assistance from a teacher who can use higher order thinking questions to get their brains kind of thinking in different ways. Play also builds children's executive function skills, of which there are 7, which are adaptable thinking, planning, self monitoring, self control, working memory, time management, and organization. And these are all skills that students need more and more as they progress through school, and they're skills which all children need in order to better develop social, emotional, physical, and cognitive skills. So, overall, play is really excellent for children and is actually necessary for their development in all areas. It's good to let children completely have choice about how they play at home, whether that's, they like to pretend to be superheroes, they like to explore their environment, whether they're at the park, in the backyard. But at school, there are more specific things that can be done that tie in with academic learning. Play-based learning promotes the growth of academic, social and emotional, and physical skills and keeps students thinking, asking questions, answering questions, solidifying their understanding of the world around them, communicating with others, and simply building rapport with the world around them, which can be difficult for young children otherwise if they are not allowed to play. So, thank you for listening.